Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, run through the weather warnings. So we do have a rain warning issued across parts of southern England and South Wales this evening, so we are going to see some very heavy rain moving up from the south. You can see on the live radar at the moment we've got this area of thunderstorms across northern France that is going to slowly swing our way over the coming hours. Not going to be as intense as it is at the moment when it reaches our shores, but still could possess some areas of torrential rainfall. We'll have a look at the latest from the UKV, going through the next 5 days in terms of the precipitation and the temperatures, as it's looking likely through this evening into tomorrow. It's going to be pretty miserable indeed. The only positive we can take out of it is looking likely that the majority of the heavy rain, at least for England and Wales, is likely to clear by the afternoon. So although it's likely to be pretty miserable when you wake up tomorrow, it could actually improve a little bit as we head into the afternoon. But it is a bit of a false flag as we head into the coming days, the first few days of April. It's likely to remain very unsettled. Upper air temperatures are going to rise, but I doubt we'll see much fruition from those because of the cloud and rain. Yeah, just going to remain fairly unsettled for the next 5 or so days. And as we progress into the longer term, as we'll see from the GFS, GM, Eastern BF and the ensembles, that sort of pattern is likely to continue. Perhaps from the GFS and GM today, maybe a glimmer of hope in the extended range of some higher pressure, but it is just a glimmer at this stage. Majority of runs still showing unsettled, wet, windy and miserable conditions, at least for the next 7 days, maybe even longer. So do remember, if you enjoy videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well. The link's in the description. Hope everyone is having a great Easter if you do celebrate it, and if you don't, hope you're having a great weekend. Conditions have been a little bit better, as we can see on the live radar at the moment. Drier definitely today, and it was pretty decent yesterday as well. The only issue today is we have got a lack of sunshine in certain areas, especially this stretch across central England, where we do have a bit of drizzle and a few showers pushing in. It has been pretty miserable there. I'm down in London, and here we've hardly seen the sun at all today. It's been really grey and horrible, but I know there are areas that are nearby that have got blue skies, so it is very regional at the moment. If you're under that cloud, not particularly great. If you've got a bit of sunshine, not too bad at all. We'll be able to see that or distinguish that when we have a look at the temperatures in a minute. But you can look to our south. We've got some very heavy thundery rain starting to move in. As I said, it's unlikely to remain as thunderstorms as it reaches our shores, but we could still see a few rumbles of thunder, and we could still see some very high rainfall rates. And that's why we do have this warning issued for tonight, only lasting about 3 or 4 hours, but still could see maybe 20 to 30 millimeters of rain. And you can just see generally to our south a lot more unsettled conditions, and these are the lows that are spiraling up from the south over the coming days, and it's going to bring our wet start to April. Now, if we do have a look at the temperatures, you can see it is very regional at the moment. If you look to the south of London towards Brighton, look at those temperatures up towards 16, 17 degrees perhaps here. And again, this is where we've got sunshine. You head northwards, so London northwards pretty much into East Anglia with that easterly flow. We're seeing a lot of cloud dragged in off the North Sea. And he said temperatures here more like 9 or 10 degrees. I know that's not a massive difference in terms of the actual numbers, maybe 5, 6, 7 degrees. But in feel-like temperature is a huge difference indeed. And you see those generally cloudy conditions hug the east coast. And it's actually probably milder across much of Scotland than it is across parts of the Midlands. So you can see the very, very variable temperatures dependent on cloud and drizzle amounts at the moment. But as I said, things are going to be going downhill overnight tonight. You can see this evening we've got this weather warning issued from 8 p.m. until 11:45. Now initially I looked at this and thought, is that 11:45 tomorrow? I didn't think the rain was going to continue until Monday afternoon, but actually it's only a 3-hour 45-minute warning, which is really quite a short warning for something that's been issued ahead of time. Sometimes we can see sort of snap warnings issued for an event taking place, and they can last only a few hours. But normally, when we're looking for warnings later in the day or the next days, it's normally a good 6 hours at least. Here, 3 hours 45, and it's all because this rain is moving in, it's moving through pretty quickly, but it could be torrential when it does arrive. Heavy rain may cause some travel disruption and difficult driving conditions. Evening rain will be heavy at times, perhaps accompanied by an isolated rumble of thunder. So those thunderstorms are likely to dissipate away, but we could still see an isolated rumble here or there. 20 to 30 millimetres in a short period of time, so really quite high rainfall rates. And again, it's falling onto very saturated ground. That's the main reason for this warning. You can see it extends through much of southern England into southwest England up towards South Wales. Even areas to the east and west of this warning will likely still see some very heavy rain. It's just more likely in this region at this stage. Now, if you go over to the latest UKV, you can see all that cloud that's across much of central England at the moment with that drizzle, and that's holding those temperatures down. But you can see overnight tonight the rainfall moving in really quite heavy, arriving around 6-7 p.m, really torrential as it moves northwards. But you can see as we head into the late morning, we actually do see a bit of sunshine appearing. Yes, there's showers through the afternoon, but the heaviest rain is actually across northern England here. So if you're across England or Wales, avoid those showers. It might not actually be too bad. So that is a little bit of an improvement. We thought the rain could drag on through much of tomorrow, but it looks like the low pressure is a bit more progressive now. So we are going to see potentially a bit of a clearing through tomorrow afternoon. So might not be all too bad, especially in the afternoon. As we progress though into Tuesday, you can see why it's going to be a bit of a false flag at any drier, sunnier conditions, because although it might be decent in the morning with some showers around, even into the afternoon, not too bad. Overnight into Wednesday, we see another deluge arrive from the south. Torrential rain lasting again much of Wednesday morning, lingering into the afternoon further northwards. And then as we head into Thursday, another batch of precipitation moving through. And Thursday into Friday, another area of rain. So just relentless batches of rain, not really lasting more than 3 to 6 hours at any one time. But it's going to be pretty horrible, and it's going to accumulate quite significantly in places, especially towards Wales, southwest England. As the winds are coming up from the southwest, the jet stream is southerly tracking. It means that's going to be the focal area of rain. When the jet stream further northwards, then it would be more Scotland. But here, definitely looking at Wales, southwest England, just generally central and western England for the heaviest rain for this period. Now you can see upper air temperatures do start to rise whenever we do see these southwesties, but as I said, we're unlikely to see the actual fruition of these warmer upper air temperatures because of all the cloud and rain. But if we do put on the 2 meter temperatures, you can see this afternoon very variable temperatures, 8 or 9 degrees in the cloud, 15, 16 in the sunshine. As we head into tomorrow, Thursday of April, again, sunshine further southwards, could see a 14 or 15 again. Under the cloud, there'll be only 5 to 7. As we head into Tuesday, again, could see 13, 14 degrees, where we see a bit of sunshine, a bit of drier conditions, but what we don't, more like the mid to high single digits. In towards Wednesday, similar picture, 15, 16 degrees in the far southeast, the further northwards with the rains lingering, 5 to 10 degrees. And then as we progress into Thursday, you can see again 16, 17 degrees. So we are seeing a little bit of a fruition of those warmer upper air temperatures, but it is very regional. As you can see further south and westwards with cloud and rain moving in, only 11 or 12. And then as we head into Friday, see those temperatures not dropping away all too much overnight. Again, that is one positive from these warmer upper air temperatures. It will keep those temperatures quite high overnight. So we'll just have to see, we'll have to take those temperatures day by day, because slight movements in cloud amounts, rainfall timings will skew those temperatures significantly by 5 to even 10 degrees if we did see that rain a bit earlier, a bit later, etc. So these temperatures will change quite a lot, but at the moment you can see it is turning warmer, but accompanied by a lot of cloud and rain. Now, if you do check out the longer range models, you can see from the latest GFS, we've got high pressure building up towards Greenland, low pressure part to our south. It's been a southerly tracking jet stream, and this Greenland high is going to hold the jet stream further southwards for the next few days at least, keeping it unsettled and keeping the main bulk of rain across England and Wales. You can see those lows continuing to come in off the Atlantic through much of this week, really spinning up at times. But as we head into the extended range, the jet stream starts to lift further northwards again. Not significantly, at least initially, but eventually actually pushes really significantly northwards. If we look at those 300 HPA winds, look at that, it's well to our north, up towards Iceland, where we normally expect it as we head into summer, and you can see we're parked under higher pressure. Now, if you look at the upper air temperatures, it's not particularly warm, it is slightly above average, but it wouldn't, as I said, be spectacular. But we definitely would see some decent temperatures with this. If we do go to the surface, you see temperatures not exceptional into the afternoon, but we could see a good mid-teens there. But the difference is this is mid-teens and dry and sunny. If we do put on the precipitation under higher pressure, you see minimal to zero precipitation over us at all, really, and that's all due to the higher pressure building in. So yes, the temperatures might not be exceptional, they may only be mid-teens, but it'll be a lot sunnier and a lot drier if this sort of pattern came off. So a little bit of a glimmer of hope there of something drier as we head into the middle of April. Just hints, but that's what we need at this stage, and then we'll need to see it solidify the model output in the next few days. But at the moment, as I said, first sort of sightings of this as we head into April. Interestingly, the GM does something similar towards the day 10 range in towards the middle of April as well. Jet stream well to our south, low pressure barraging in off the Atlantic, really unsettled conditions. And then as we head towards day 10, higher pressure trying to build in. Now it's not the same pattern as the GFS because the jet stream was lifted much further northwards. Here instead we've just got a little kink in the jet stream allowing a little high to build. So it could be temporarily drier and a little bit warmer, but it's not as big of a pattern change to the GFS. So similar outcome, but slightly different process to get there. As you can see, the jet stream is still sort of aimed towards us or even southerly tracking. It's got a little kink over the top of us, which allows us to build in that higher pressure. If we look at the upper air temperatures, again, nothing exceptional, but at the surface, we'd still likely see potentially temperatures into the mid-teens by the middle of the afternoon if we did see some sunshine. The only issue you can get is quite a lot of cloud cover in these sort of scenarios, especially if it builds in over cooler air with a bit of an easterly flow. So that is something we do need to keep an eye on, because that can be as miserable with higher pressure and easterly flow. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we head into the middle of April. Now the eastern blue F, unfortunately, no signs of any higher pressure at all. Continuing barraging of westerly winds over the coming days, and that continues all the way to day 10. No change at all. Jet stream well to our south, low pressure continuing to push in off the Atlantic. You can see the lows aren't that deep. They're not ridiculously stormy or anything like that, but still would pack a punch, and you can see the absolute wave of precipitation coming in across the Atlantic. This is exactly where the jet stream is, and you can see it is southerly tracking because much of Portugal, Spain and France getting battered, as well as the Alps will get battered as well with all this rain. And you see again focused across southern Wales and southwest England, still lots of rain further northwards, but you see the focus is slightly further southwards because this wind is coming in more from the southwest. Now, if you finish by looking at the ensembles, you can see a glimmer of hope from higher pressure from the GFS, but not too much support from the ensembles, unfortunately. Over the next couple of days, average upper air temperatures slightly drier, but turning wetter this evening into the early part of April. Upper air temperatures do rise, but we see even higher precipitation rates. That continues, though, all the way to the middle of April. Maybe a small decrease in precipitation spikes, but I'm talking a very small decrease. The majority of runs keeping us around average in terms of temperature, so potentially turning us slightly cooler again. So humidity temperatures do get a bit of a rise as we head into the latter part of this upcoming working week, maybe 15-16 degrees, but that will be dependent on rain. You can see it actually coincides with the highest rainfall spikes here, so warmer upper air temperatures could actually come with the heaviest rain. It does lower those temperatures, but we start to see a little bit of an uptick in the longer term. But then again, that is expected as we are progressing into longer days and stronger sunshine. If we finish by looking at the latest ECMWF ensembles, again, very similar to the GFS, around average over the next few days in terms of upper air temperatures, spiking late this working week, but continuing with very high precipitation amounts, and then generally around average in terms of temperatures, and again, still pretty high precipitation. Interestingly, a couple very warm runs appearing here up towards the 15-degree mark, not just a spike, so not just a temporary air mass within a warmer sector, but a proper southerly push. If we had a look at those 2-meter temperatures, you can see getting up into the low 20s. So there's a possibility there, a few anomalous ECMWF runs going for it, which does give us a little glimmer of hope as well, something a bit warmer and drier. But I must say at this stage, the majority keeping us around average, relatively cool long-term prospects, maybe a little bit of a spike of warmth this week, but as I said, that is accompanied with some of the heaviest rain, so it's not looking particularly great. As I said though, GFS does give us something to latch onto, but for the time being, the unsettled weather looks to continue into April and for the foreseeable future. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you have enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.